start the record. Okay, everybody, this is a great time to come together with John Edward. And for those of you who know who John Edward is, you know how excited I am. But if you don't know who he is, just know you could probably Google his name and find that he is internationally known to many as someone who sees beyond the physical. So, without further ado, fasten your seatbelts because we're going to learn and grow together. Let's do it. So, even if you're not on camera, it's time to dance.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here. Right here, and when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for
you. This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening and my viewing friends. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott radio show / classroom, please know I've been waiting for you. You're probably watching today because you know that John Edward is on. But please know that this is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends at facebook.com/Lillian's radio show, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, have you ever contemplated eternity? Well, I have many times. So what happens to the people that have been the people that you love in your life? What happens to those people when they take their final breath? Well, John Edward he's psychic medium. He has the ability to feel and see and hear in a different way than most of us could ever imagine. But I believe if we opened that up to the world, to the universe, perhaps maybe we could have it too. So John Edward is back, not only to, and John Edward is the star of Crossover. Let's see, he's had the honor of interpreting for the people who have gone beyond us. And so his journey, we have one lucky listener, and we have Olivia and Brooke who are going to be honored to receive a reading by John Edward. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am so grateful that John Edward is here to do just that. Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show / classroom, John.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
I am thrilled. So share with us, what have you been doing for the last year? It's been a year since I last went to one of your events.
Well, I'm doing what I always do. I feel like I've been on a 30-year tour. I'm constantly going from place to place, city to city, country to country, helping to raise awareness and teach. And I think what's interesting and what I love about what you do about raising awareness and calling the experience that you're putting out there the message of classroom is I feel like it's kind of like a microcosm of what life is. You know, we're all in this classroom, and it's what I try to say when I do a live event. Like, this isn't a performance. I'm not putting on a show. This is a classroom. Like, this is an event. When I was doing the show Crossing Over, I was talking about helping to raise awareness about making connections with people who had passed. And I remember the producer saying to me, "This is going to be like the first kind of television show ever. Like that's consistently like this." Mm-hmm. And I said, "It's not a television show." And he stopped and he looked at me and he goes, okay, what is it? And I go, they're events that happen to be televised. So for me, I never felt like I was doing a TV show. Every time I took the stage, it was to teach and it was a classroom. And the executive producer of Crossing Over is a gentleman by the name of Paul Shableson. And he and I got stuck in traffic one night, leaving the studio, driving back to Long Island for about 4.5 hours. It was like a 4.5 hour traffic delay that the universe, I really think, put us in on purpose. And we had some really intense conversations about what my goals were with Crossing Over, the quote unquote TV show. And I said, I see this as energy, and I'm talking about energy. And I feel like I'm painting portraits of energy. And then I'm sharing those portraits with the people that are not only in the studio audience that I'm reading, but with the people that are watching at home. And the next day, when we went back into the studio, we're standing on an empty stage, and he looks out and he sees like where the audience is going to sit, and they're not there yet. And he goes, "This is the gallery." And I said, "Is that a TV term?" And he said, "No." And I go, "Okay, why are you calling the audience the gallery?" He said, "Because you said you paint portraits of energy, and this is the gallery that we're going to hang now." And in that moment, I knew that I had a partner in Crossing Over that really got what my goal was. And then what's ironic, and some folks don't realize this, but he coined the phrase gallery readings. And that was 20 years ago. And to this day, if you see, like, there were a number of psychic mediums, they'll call them gallery readings. But I guarantee you, if you ask them where that came from, they would have no idea. They would think that that's what you always called them. But it was actually coined by the executive producer of Crossing Over.
Well, I from personal experience, I know that when I attended one of your events and I became part of your portrait and and you have touched my life as well, and encouraged me by what you saw the last time we were together, which is that you saw my book. And the following week, John, I started writing it. I have the cover for it. I've got collaborators for it, and it's just been amazing. So what you see is beyond what we are able to see. Now, I wanted to find out about your intuition and helping us by empowering us to see that our intuition will open the door for more in our life. What could you say about using our intuition to see beyond the physical?
I think it's important for people to recognize that we're all energy. And I know that the media does a great job at either hyping something up or bastardizing it, celebrating it or making fun of it. And right now in the media, there's a lot of talk about the Netflix special with Goop, and there's a doctor that does energy stuff. And it's, for me, I think, a way of getting people into this classroom in a different perspective. What I do gets people into the classroom in another perspective. What you're doing gets them into the classroom in a different perspective. But I think it's really important for people to recognize, where are we getting our information from, number one. I think it's really important. And I think we need to get our information from multiple sources. So I always say, you're listening to me as a psychic medium. You're going to hear what I say as a psychic medium, but you should explore what other people say as well. And the reason why that's important is it gives you the opportunity to explore different points of view and perspectives, and then kind of like mine for your own interpretation, taking from all of those quote unquote recipes. So when you look at intuition, it's really understanding your own energy, being in touch with your own feelings, trying to come from a place of balance, like your own balance. How do I feel about that? And then recognizing the differences in your own energy field about how something makes you feel positive or negative. So that's the immediate kind of interpretation. So you meet a person, you don't feel great about them, but then you allow that person to start speaking, and then you forget about that immediate gut reaction to that first meeting, only to be later proven accurate that you should have trusted that. So that's like a regular example that folks can identify with. But when you pay attention to your actual intuition and that intuitive voice inside, it might warn you about something. It might give you random information, like you'll have that bouncing ball of thought come in, and then it's about somebody you haven't thought about in 12 years. And then the next thing you know, you get an email from that person asking if that's still your email address. I'm getting ready to do, an interview, and I haven't talked to somebody in a while. And I was like, oh, I want her on. She emailed me before I had a chance to email her. So you look at the energy exchange, and it's like, yes, we have email and phone calls and texting and now Zooming and Skyping and Twitter and Instagram, but the original communication is telepathic. and it's communicated without a device. You are the device. So did I send the thought to her and she received it? Did I pick up on her thought, or did the universe help bring us together? All of these are good questions for people to actually explore for themselves.
Yes. And so the main question we need to ask ourselves, are we open? Are we open to receive that? Because we could block ourselves, correct?
We can block ourselves. And here's where I try to really put a little bit of a protective spin on it. I think we went for a period of time where, and I still think we're in it, where people are very open to allowing other people's thoughts and beliefs to infiltrate their own paradigm, and it becomes something that's not their own. Mm-hmm. So if you've ever made a recipe out of a cookbook, you sometimes tweak it and you make it your own. I think it's important for people to make sure that they understand what they're actually believing and thinking, and they take a moment to be somewhat of a critical thinker. So I ask people to be skeptical first, to be analytical, to really get into their thoughts and feelings, not to believe everything and anything, and question the sources of where you're getting your information from. And by the way, that's everywhere, whether it be religion, philosophy, psychic stuff, energy, politics. And I think that social media has created these like circles, bubbles, where people only listen to like one or two concepts. And I think it's important to think outside of those bubbles. And that boundary for me is what I call psychic self-defense. I kind of protect myself energetically from other people's thoughts and energy. And in order to read for people, you have to be able to do that. You got to be in that kind of protective mode.
Very good. Very good. So for those of you who are tuning in and you can't see who is speaking, it's John Edward, and he's psychic medium. And so what we're going to do now, John, if you choose to accept this challenge, is do some readings to some of the people that have been waiting for you. So is that good for you to do right now?
I will make my attempt. Can't promise.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So the first person worked really hard. She is a fan of the classroom, and she did everything she had to do in order to, and by the way, for those of you who maybe forgot about John, or maybe have been wanting what's John doing, or maybe want to know more, you can go to johnedward.net to find if he's going to be in a city near you. And I know that he's going to be in Florida next week, and so just start checking it out. But for now, we have Lupe, who was the contest winner, to speak to you. So I don't know if you need for them to ask you a question, or if you just get their energy by hearing their name. So can we unmute Lupe, please?
So full disclosure, whenever I have more than one person energetically open to hearing me, which would be Lupe, yourself, the woman sitting with you, your producer, and I see a Brooke on here. So any people that hear me, I can wind up reading for them. So one of the things that I've had to learn about my abilities is that I don't have the ability to hyper-focus. Like, I have a colleague, her name is Shar Margolis. And by the way, you should have her on. She's got a brand new book out.
We'll do it.
She is amazing because she could be like in the middle of Central Park and open up and legitimately focus on one person and then read for that one person. I'm in awe of that because I can't do that.
Okay, so what if we unmute everybody?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they can hear me. Like, when I do events in like places that have feeds, like if I'm in a theater and they have feeds to like the concession stand and the dressing rooms and other places, I actually ask the people to kill the feeds because I could read people that can hear me. So I just want anybody that can hear me to acknowledge that, oh, that might be for me. So even though I might make the attempt to read for Lupe, I might not get Lupe's family. Somebody else's family might be louder.
Okay, so for those of you who are going to have a reading from a gallery reading from John, if it resonates with you, go ahead and let us know by unmuting your mic, or do you want them to say, or just write it down, and then when it's your turn, you can say that was you. So is that good, John?
Yeah, and if you could just have Lupe start with asking me a question so I could focus, because I know we don't have a lot of time.
Okay, Lupe, it's your turn.
Good morning.
Hi, Lupe.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I don't really have a question. I was just going to be open to you to tell me whatever the message was.
Yeah, that's never really accurate, and I'll tell you why. Because nobody ever really never has a question. Everybody has a question, and everybody has their A list of people that they would like to hear from. So you have that, and if you don't acknowledge that, and I go down a different path, it's going to kill her show. So if you have a specific question, it'll be better for everybody, all parties concerned. And if there's no one person you want to talk to, then ask me a question about the subject matter so I can tune into your energy.
My mom and my dad, they both passed away, so
Don't-
I would like
don't-
to.
Do you have to say any more?
No more than that. Lupe, tell me, what's the connection to April for you?
April is my sister's birthday?
And are you guys one of 3 kids?
Yes.
Okay, and out of the 3 kids, are 2 similar and 1 different, like 2 close in age, 1 further apart?
Yes.
And what's the connection where somebody had to either have their shoulder put back in their socket, or somebody had a shoulder issue, or they broke their collarbone? Somebody had something shoulder related.
I think I remember my sister getting bit on her shoulder when she was little.
I don't feel like it's a bite. It to me feels like if there was somebody playing a sport and they popped their shoulder out, sorry to be graphic, guys, or somebody had like a shoulder injury where they needed to have surgery. Sometimes they'll talk about events that took place in the past, but there could be a current event right now that they're trying to say, I see what's taking place, but they're showing me some type of like shoulder injury or a shoulder issue that needs medical attention. Like we couldn't leave this alone. So it's not like somebody has bursitis in their shoulder and or arthritis and they live with it. This is something that they needed medical attention. Who has the M like Mary name?
My sister,
Okay.
and it is Mary.
Okay, and
Maria.
is that the April sister?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I'm supposed to talk about something in the family with the shoulder. So I don't know if this is something that happened around her, if it happened around, a kid around her, but there's something about that. And then there's an R like Robert or Richard that they want me to talk about. There's an R name, either living or past.
My brother.
Okay. And then what's the reference to, so whenever I'm doing something live like this, I try to be as polite as possible, but at the same time, I have to say it. Did somebody have multiple like driving violations that they needed to get like legal assistance with? Or do you know if there was an issue with maybe an unpaid ticket that nobody knew that they had and they needed to get it looked at?
Probably my brother.
If you're communicating with him, I would make sure you alert him to keeping his record clean or keeping whatever, if they take points off, you don't want anybody losing their license, but there's something about that. And then there's somebody who crossed over from either breast cancer or lung cancer because they're showing me blackness in the chest area. I think it's your aunt or it's an older female that's not your mom.
I think I had a cousin that passed away with cancer, but I'm not sure what kind of cancer.
On your dad's side of the family, does he have a sister who's passed?
No.
Okay, I kind of feel it around dad. So for me, I just going by my symbols, I have like a family tree in my head. So I'm going to the older male to you, which to me would be like father, stepfather, father-in-law, and then the woman connected to him. So if there's a older woman connected to the male to you, so for example, if you're a stepmom or if you're a mother-in-law passed this way, I would see it on the same level.
John, that could be my husband.
What do you mean?
The lung.
Well, hold on. I want to go back to Lupe for 1 second.
Okay.
Lupe, is connected to your dad. There's no female contemporary that's passed. That's not your mom.
No, my dad had 2 sisters, and they're still both living.
And where's the A name, like Anna?
I have, my middle name is Asya, and I believe one of my aunt's name, my grandmother had the middle name of Asya.
No, not a middle name. It's an A connection. So there's somebody with cancer, and they want to talk about the A name. There's an A connection around it, either living or past. But I kind of feel like I want to go. Is there a father-in-law for you?
No.
Yeah, this is not changing. So connected to the older male for you guys, there's somebody that would be a female that passed from breast or lung cancer. And I would see it as being like your mom, your aunt, your mother-in-law, your stepmom. placement.
My mom passed away with cancer, but it was colon cancer.
No, I mean, I'm sure you know your mom. They're showing me, I see it affecting the chest. So unless your mom was diagnosed with something that would affect her chest, there's something else that's connected to it. And then what's the connection, December or the 12th of a month?
My son's birthday.
Yeah, this is definitely your family, Lupe. So if I'm misinterpreting your mom's cancer, then I have to tell you something affected her chest area. Like there were tumors in her lungs. There was something about a mammogram that came out wrong. There was something that would not be, something not right in the breast or lung area, because they're showing me blackness in that area. And I always say this, I worked in healthcare, so it's very easy to show me like the aspect of the body that they want me to highlight. And either your mom passed by her own birthday or she passed by a family holiday.
My mom passed away in December.
So that'd be around Christmas.
Yeah, it was right around the time of my son's birthday.
Which would be a family holiday. Okay. So
Correct.
this would be your mom's way. And did your dad go before her?
Yes.
And then is he the J name?
No, my dad's name was with an R.
There's a J connection that's around your dad. So you already said that your brother was an R. So if your dad is giving me a J name, it might be because he's a middle name J, or he wants to distinguish the difference between him and your brother, and one of them has a J middle initial.
Yes, my brother is a junior.
Okay. And then are you moving, Lupe?
No.
They're telling me to talk about when you moved.
Okay, when I moved like 20 years ago.
Did you move around the time one of them passed?
I had just moved to where I'm living before my dad passed. So I think I was here maybe 2 years before he passed.
So you moved away, then he passed.
No, I came closer to him. And then he passed.
Okay. So you moved for him.
Correct.
Gotcha. Because they're telling me to talk about the move. And do you not communicate with your brother?
I talk to my brother on holidays, or if we're having a party or something, I'll call him and tell him to come over, but I don't talk to him like on a regular basis.
Gotcha. So in my symbols, right, everything I get is in my frame of reference. Your mom and your dad are making me feel like you don't really communicate with your brother. It's more like you have exchanges with him, but not like you're in his life, or he's on your radar, but he's not in your house, is my feeling.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, because I don't see you guys being close, by my definition.
We were close when we were little, and then as we grew older, I mean, he kind of had kids and he got married, and then.
And Lupe, you're not in Hawaii, right?
No, but I would love to be.
Here's what they're showing me. They're showing me Hawaiian flowers. So they want me to reference to you something like about like Hawaiian florals or Hawaiian tropical prints or Hawaiian flowers. So is there any type of artwork or tattoo or any type of something that's around you that they want me to highlight?
No, I went to Hawaii with my kids.
After they pass? No, it's not going
After they pass? Yeah.
It's not about being in Hawaii. It's more about the symbolism of what it's making me feel like. So I need to talk about the tropical paradise, birds of paradise flowers, the like Hawaiian looking flowers, very tropical looking, floral, colorful type of stuff. And I feel like it's something to do around where you're at, like where you're currently. So it's their way of giving me like, this is near you, not where you went. It's just my OCD, like focusing on the stuff that they're showing.
Could it be a tattoo?
Sure.
No, I don't have any tattoos.
It's more like artwork, like
Artwork.
a print, like near you.
No.
Well, that's what they're showing me.
Okay. So I wonder if it's Brooke. I wonder if it's. Do you wanna just?
It's Lupe.
It's
Lupe, you've got the connection to June as well, correct?
June. No.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I like you. Yeah, you do. June. What would be
I'll tell you
June?
why. After so many years, this is my 35th year doing this.
Wow.
When they show me certain things, I just literally go like, there are things that they'll show me and I'll be like the flower thing. That's not a symbol for me. Like, I don't know what this is. So I'll say it like, I don't know what this is. It's reminding me of this. Here you go. It feels like it's around you. When they show me the number 6, I know that I'm supposed to talk about either the 6th of a month or the 6th month. So they're putting a 6. And what that's doing is to anchor me to you, Lupe, as a family. And it's just a way of letting me know, like, I'm with you and not somebody else. So I like to read with validation. So like they show me stuff and then I stick to what they show me. I don't like to deviate because then people in my field are attacked for, oh, they're just trying to take it from anywhere to make it fit. So the way I give it is I just stick to what I'm seeing.
I'm trying to think of a June, like birthday or something, but I don't.
Isn't Michael also connected to you, or Marco?
My son, we call him Mikey, so Michael.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. And the 6th is going to be connected to your family, birthday or anniversary. And the problem is that people will take it and put it where they think it needs to go, as opposed to being objective and acknowledging like, oh, yeah, my son was born in June. Or, oh, yeah, there's the 6th of the month was, this is what happened.
So is there a message that you want to leave with Lupe so that we can move to Brooke?
I won't be able to move to Brooke until Lupe validates this.
Oh, okay, Lupe.
Oh, it's all on me.
All on you, baby. And one of the things I tell people all the time is that when I'm doing a reading, and if I'm at a live event, or if I'm doing this, or if I have a group in front of me, or if 2 people in a room, the reality is the information, when it doesn't go through for me, it's like the Drano commercial where they show you the clog in the drain. All the water backs up. So for me, this becomes a clog and nothing else is going to get through me. So there are mediums, by the way, who have the ability to like drop stuff and like move on. I don't know how they do that because they don't let me.
So you think I wonder if Brooke, because some of the things that you mentioned, kind of like, with the lung, it could be Robert, and Robert is also on the line. So it could be him that you are reading.
I don't think so.
Okay.
We don't think so.
So is it just a 6 or could it be a 16 or?
It's either going to be the 6th month, June, birthday or anniversary, or the 6th of a month connected to your mom and dad's family. What are you? Like if you moved down to where you are, or you moved out to where you are in June, 2 years before your dad passed, that to me would be his way of validating something connected to you.
No, I was here way before.
Yeah, there's something about the 6th month, June, or the 6th of a month. There's something about 6. He's telling me 6.
Are you planning on doing something in the future, Lupe?
No.
And then let's not forget, there's an A name that they want me to talk about, like Anthony, Anna. There's an A name, living or past.
I know an Anthony.
Say it again.
I know an Anthony.
Okay. How's that connected to you?
That would be my boyfriend's son.
Okay. And then is anybody connected there, June or the 6th of a month? Like if your dad wants to say, I see who you're with, and this A is connected, and the 6 is like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all going to link me up to the same family for you.
Gosh, I'm like confused. I don't know what it would be. The 6th month.
It's the one that comes after the 5th month, May.
Okay. You're funny too.
Well, I'm okay. So John,
Yep.
My grandmother's name is Asia.
No, it's not for you.
It's not for me. You keep saying that, and it's not Robert, whose father had lung cancer.
Nope, it is for Lupe.
Lupe.
And the reason why I'm saying it's for Lupe is that when they gave me my, the place for me to go, everything that they gave me, she validated. Her son's Michael. You know what I'm saying? So when they give me information that doesn't make sense, then they validate it right after with something that does make sense. That is my cue. Trust them and not the living. And that's why I literally sound like Rain Man sometimes when I read.
Wapner, 5 o'clock. Okay.
I have a niece that's in June.
Would that be your grandmother? Would that be your mom and dad's grandchild?
Yes.
Right. That's my point. Like it's that would be their way of acknowledging her, right?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So this is where your editorial, Lupe, has to go bye-bye, where you can't put in what you think or what you want your mom and dad to acknowledge. So if your mom and dad want to acknowledge their grandchild who's born in June, your job is to say, yes, that's their granddaughter, that's my niece, period, move on. You follow? And that's why reading sometimes will go in a different direction, because somebody like Lillian's going, oh my God, I have that. Oh my God, he has that. And I have to politely say,
Nope.
no.
Off you go.
And I will say again, because I like to highlight, skeptics always say that psychics want you to forget the misses and paint a bullseye around the hits. And I'm like, no, actually, I want to paint a bullseye and a circle around the things that you don't connect with, because those are the things that maybe we're not interpreting correctly, but I don't want you to forget them. So I will repeat again that there's a Hawaiian floral print, tropical flower theme, something about that I need to highlight. And it might not be a big deal, but if on your wall or on your screen or wherever you are, there's these beautiful flowers, it's like your mom and dad's way of saying, Lupe, I'm with you. Like, I see what you're seeing. And like, that's the message. And ultimately, Lillian, that's what the message is. We're here. We're part of what's happening in your life. We see it. But here's the reality. Anybody can call themselves a psychic and a medium and give you philosophy and say, they see what's taking place in your life. They send you signs and symbols. You might see butterflies and dragonflies and ladybugs and find change and see 1111. You might smell them. You might see orbs in your photo. You might have dreams of them. And then the person goes, oh my God, yes. And they're like really happy. And then the reality is, like, somebody like me was like watching that going, yeah, but they didn't say anything, right? So I go right past that's a given that's possible. My job as a medium is to validate for you with information. No, this is Lupe's family. And these are the things that are kind of charting that out so that Lupe knows that it's out of their love and persistence that they want to acknowledge that she's one of three, that there are two similar, one different, that there's an R connection, that there's an M like Mary, that's her sister, that there's an M like Michael, that's her son. You follow what I'm saying? Like, it's their way of doing that. And that also that there's a Chrissy or a Christina or a C or K name that's in there as well. That's where you speak, Lupe.
Well, those are my sisters and brothers, so you're really good. But I'm still stumped on the Hawaii and the flowers.
Okay, well, you got that for homework. What's the C or K name to you?
The C or the K?
And then did somebody...
My last name is with a C.
Did somebody overdose by any chance? Okay.
No.
Okay,
not that
so
I'm
now,
aware of.
Lillian.
With the C or
now I'm going to
K?
say, if she doesn't identify that, I'm moving to somebody else.
Okay.
So is there anybody that's on this call that has somebody who crossed themselves over?
With the C or K?
Nope.
What did he say?
Anyone who has someone that committed suicide in the family.
Oh, no.
So let me just take a moment just to kind of share like what I've actually learned in doing this. We all can shift and change, right? We can all shift and change our way of looking at stuff. I have been schooled, and I say schooled because that's what it was. I have been schooled, educated, my awareness has been raised that we are no longer to use the word committed when someone takes their life.
Okay.
When somebody dies by suicide or somebody passes by suicide, it's important for us to all change how we refer to it for the families that are left behind, because the word committed is associated with a crime. So just kind of a little public service announcement.
So that's great. So how did you, because Olivia said that her father-in-law crossed over.
So he had to pass either by asphyxiation, or he had to pass by either narcotics in his system. There's some type of like asphyxiated passing. How is that connected to you?
That person that was asphyxiated was my mother that passed.
Okay. Because I feel somebody's coming through where their actions brought about circumstances that caused their passing. So for me, like what they did might have created the circumstance of how they passed, but they're showing me asphyxiation. Normally, Olivia, asphyxiation would be where somebody passes by either hanging, they pass by an overdose, or something else that their actions brought about that would have caused some type of asphyxiation.
I think that may be me.
Okay.
Brooke?
My great grandmother hung herself,
Gotcha.
and her name is Catherine, and she starts, I believe, with a C.
Okay. So I have that energy that I need to highlight. And then, Brooke, if this is for you, is there anybody around you that's getting ready to get married or just had a baby or engaged where there's like a family augmentation happening?
Augmentation.
Well, augmentation. No, both my sisters are married and they had babies. I don't know if I'm allowed to share anything about my family as far as what's going on in their lives. So I don't know if I should say that on air, but yes.
Just know that what I just said is what they're showing me.
Okay.
And are you Brooke Marie?
No.
Who's the M for you then, Brooke?
Marie.
No, who's the M in living or past for you?
It doesn't have to be Marie. It's an M.
Is your mom still here?
Yes, my mom. I actually live with my mom.
Okay. And what's the connection to September or the 9th of a month?
September.
Or the 9th.
Not anything that I can remember.
And going back to Lupe, September or the 9th is not for your family?
No, I don't believe it is.
Okay. I don't know where to put this yet. I believe it's September, not the 9th of a month. And Brooke, I believe it's your family.
Okay.
And then this might sound completely crazy, but Brooke, do you sing?
I do.
Okay. Because you're telling me to talk about your singing.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is something that is, you teach it, you perform it, you study it, but I feel like there's like music and singing around you. And it's like a part of you. Like the way what I do is a part of me. That's what I'm saying. It's like a part of you.
Okay. It's something that I've always been able to do, but I haven't necessarily had the confidence to really commit to it and kind of follow through with what I imagine for myself.
But did you study it?
No.
It just comes natural.
Just comes natural.
So my abilities kind of just came natural, but with a little bit of studying, it almost gave me like the ice cube tray to make ice. I kind of feel like if you create the ice cube tray for you vocally, you might do more with your voice than you know, whether it be performing, singing, teaching, more voiceover work, radio, commercials. There's something else that might be there. Audiobooks, I'm not really sure what this is, but there's something about that. And then, Brooke, is your dad passed?
No, he's here.
So is mom and dad divorced?
They're going through a separation. Yes, they're about to get divorced.
Okay, because they're showing me dad gone.
Right.
So I'm sorry. I know that. Do I have permission to go here?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I feel like this is something that was like third time is the charm here. Like they might have tried 3 separate times to make this work, but I don't feel like this was something that they're going to be better friends than like husband and wife.
Okay.
So I think patience for you is important, and not to clearly not to choose a side, which is going to be hard, but to be aware that people have faults and that there's multiple ways of looking at a circumstance. If you only go up to a house and look in one window, you're only going to see the room you're looking into. And I kind of feel like there's multiple rooms in a house, and you don't have the aspect or the perspective always of what's happening on the second floor if you're looking in the first floor window. You can only describe what's in your vantage point, what you can see. And I think that in time, sometimes we can go back and say, wait a minute, I have a really strong recollection of what that room looked like. I was in it once. I can understand and describe it. Do you follow?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, one of your siblings might not share that, and there might be a division, and there might be a lot of animosity here. And I kind of feel like, one, astrologically, Brooke, we're living at a time where everything is team related, win and lose, and there's like no in between. So I think trying to find the place in between is really important, by the way, for anybody that's listening to this. In any place, argument, or whatever you're dealing with, you got to find the in between. But I feel like consciously trying to keep your family together, if you try to do that, it's going to be like standing next to a dock holding a cruise ship with a rope. Like, it's not going to be something you can do solely. So sometimes you have to let the cruise ship leave the dock, go out to sea, and let the cruise ship just sit there in our sights, knowing that people can get on and off that boat if they need to. Follow?
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Brooke. And now we have Olivia.
Olivia, just give me a question to focus on, because I know we're short on time and I want to.
Okay, I would like to focus, I'd like to talk about my grandmother, Olivia.
Okay. Yeah, Lupe. Sorry. Lupe?
Yeah.
Did you just write something down on a piece of paper about your mom, or were you just doodling on a piece of paper about your family?
Yes.
Okay.
He's on to you, Lupe.
Your mom is just making me feel like she's with you, and she's like seeing what you're doing. She's telling me to talk about the checkbook, or doing something with checks, or the banking. I don't know if you have like banking stuff near you too, or you have to go to the bank after we're done, but there's something like banking, checks, deposits, reconciling. I'm seeing all symbolic bank stuff, and they're making me feel like I need to make a big deal about, I don't know, something about these freaking Hawaiian flowers, or these birds of paradise, or something about colorful floral print Hawaiian shirt stuff. That is something they're not letting go, Lupe.
I'm just thinking about it, and I can't. There's nothing that I could see
Where are
or
you?
remember.
Like, where are you?
I'm at work right now.
Okay, so when you like look around you, there's nothing around you when you get up that is this image.
I have that in my room right now. I have like a picture frame, and then it's almost like a newspaper where there's a flower. It almost looks like a lotus flower, but like a Hawaiian flower. It's pink and orange and green.
That's by you, Brooke?
Yes, it's in my room.
So like you could see it.
Yes, I'm staring at it right now. It's to my left.
Okay. So then do you have a friend who's passed too?
I do, yes.
Okay. So then I feel like I have your friend, your contemporary, that wants me to honor the floral thing. So I could take the flower thing and bring that to Brooke, because that's not going away.
Okay.
And is this a person that passed in an event?
At an event, or?
Like in an event, like this is a tragic passing?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like you get the phone call that the person passes. Like you find out that they're gone, and
Yes.
it feels like a shock. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like we're ready for this. Do you understand?
For sure.
Okay. And then did you know them for like 7 years, or is it 7 years ago that it happened? Like, why are they showing me 7?
We knew each other for maybe about 5 years. He died in July, so that's the 7th month.
Okay. Because he's putting a 7 to the connection. Could we say, like, was this somebody who was like a bodybuilder, or was there like some type of reference to like gym stuff?
No.
Okay. I don't know what this is, so just bear with me.
Okay.
Are you like training for like a triathlon, or are you training for something?
No. Wish I was.
Something that your friend wants me to talk about is very physical in nature, body, competitive, working out, movement, something along those lines.
No, I mean, I work out, but not to that degree.
You work out today?
No, I actually just had surgery about 3 weeks ago, so I haven't been able to work out yet.
Not in your shoulder, right?
No.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure. Again, just to say this, they're showing me something that would be like working out, bodybuilding, sports, nutrition, accomplishment, like physicality, challenge?
Well, I don't know if I'm probably just maybe reaching, but I took something out of my body. I had a breast augmentation and I took that out of my body. As far as my physicality goes, so that's a big shift in that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that's it. I feel like I'm supposed to talk about like somebody, like I knew a Mr. USA, right? So like I'm seeing that symbolism. So that to me would be an accomplishment with the body, somebody who competed, somebody who did something that was a challenge, somebody who did a triathlon, what do they call it, or something along those lines where there's a physical accomplishment. So I might see this for somebody who was the Olympics. I might see this for somebody who was a champion, like skating.
My sister's sister-in-law is in bodybuilding.
That would do it for me. Okay.
Okay.
It's just my way of knowing like that this
Okay.
that it's connected to you. I know it's crazy because like what does that person have to do with you? But in this scenario, it anchors me to you, not Lupe. It anchors me to you, not Olivia. Those are those moments that I hold on to, like the flowers and that. I hope that this helps.
And John, we have a couple of minutes. I know you have a heart out. Is there anything that you could share with Olivia before we go? Because I want to be considerate with your time.
I tried 3 separate times to tune into her, and every time I go there, I get pulled to Lupe and Brooke.
Okay.
That's that moment of I can't control this.
Okay. So, well, I tell you what, John, this has been great. I am always excited to be on. I want to encourage all of you who are in any area, because what are some of the cities that you're going to be going to, John?
I should probably know that. I don't.
Well, I know in Florida, on February 5th, you're going to be in Palm Beach Gardens. I've got listeners there. We have Sanibel Harbor. You're going to be in Fort Myers on the 6th. On the 8th, you're going to be in Melbourne. That is sold out. And then on the 9th, you are in Jacksonville. So those are certainly in the Florida area real quick. But if you go to johnedward.net, you will be able to go on there, link in, and go to one of his events. I just want to real quick, John, how do we refrain the suicide? How do we refrain that? What did you say?
So for decades, like everybody else, I would use the word, oh, this person committed suicide. This person crossed themselves over. Yeah. And at an event, a woman was a little bit angered by my saying that, and kind of as she was leaving, I was doing a signing. She told me I needed to change how I referred to it, and then like stormed out, which I was like, okay, like that's the way people refer to it. Mm-hmm. And then I read for somebody actually in Florida whose sister had passed, and wound up having a conversation there, and then subsequent conversations with some folks. And we should never use the word commit, even though it's been associated. We want to shift that to this person died by, passed by suicide, or they took their own life, but died by suicide, passed by suicide, not use the word commit.
Okay. I love that. Thank you so much for bringing that clarity. And thank you so much for being so, can I use committed to your, what you do, to honoring the people who have crossed over. And I just absolutely adore you. And I'm looking forward to the next time you can come on and be a part of it. And Olivia, do you want to say anything to John? Because you were
Thank you. I know I have been to see you before, and I just appreciate hearing you and getting educated here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And my daughter has your name, so thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for everything that you do, and I look forward to the next time we speak.
Same.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Okay. Thank you, Lupe, and thank you, Brooke.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lupe is going to be on John. John is going to be thinking about Lupe all day long. Lupe, you ruined things.
Sorry.
No. I think this was, there's something, and this is what happens because when we are in our own head and we're trying to make sense of it, like, I'm not trying to compare you to Brooke at all, not trying to do that, but it was amazing how things just flowed. And I'm wondering, Lupe, if because you were at work, if you're a little bit guarded.
No, I think I'm pretty open.
No, but that's not the thing. I mean, do they know that you're on a personal call at work?
I have my office door closed.
I would think you were probably a little guarded. I know that when I'm at work, I am the boss, so I'm like, I don't have to worry about that. But anyway, when people are at work, you have a certain persona. Like Brooke, you are in your bedroom.
Yes.
So you are able to speak freely, but you are at work behind closed doors. So
Literally.
I'm wondering if that's why you were a little blocked.
Were you whispering?
Were you answering phone calls while we were doing the show?
Well, thank God my phone didn't ring.
Anyway, I am grateful for you, Lupe, and thank you so much for honoring the classroom by liking and sharing and being part of the classroom today. And Brooke, and we're going to continue, because what I'd like to do is, Olivia, you're here for a reason. And one of the reasons Olivia is here perhaps may not have been to be talking to John. It could have been to be part of the classroom, because she's become a very special friend. And I've talked about ground therapy. Before we I want to talk about my sponsors, because without my sponsors, there would be no classroom. So I want to encourage all of you who tuned in today or will watch in the future that to go to whenyouneedafriend.com. And while you're there, please become a subscriber. And while you become a subscriber, you get all sorts of free gifts, and you'll get a blog letting you know who's going to be in the classroom and the links to where you can find them. But while you're at whenyouneedafriend.com, I want to encourage you to click on my sponsors page, because again, they are supporting the classroom in a way that nobody else is. And so you don't get this information on mainstream media. So I want to encourage you to check out Liberty Health Share, Keep Me Safe Organics, where everything is non-synthetic, organic. We've had First Alternative Care, Dr. Stephen Grable, the pharmacy in Merritt Island, which now, starting soon, you'll be able to get compounded products, so it's topical compounding through him. And also we have Live Longer Medical and Ground Therapy, which after the class, we're going to be talking about ground therapy with Olivia, whether you like it or not. So here we go. Please remember, please share this, like us. You could always join us live on facebook.com/Lillian's Radio Show. So please remember, you could become an enrolled student too. Please remember, I'll be right here waiting for you. This is Lillian McDermott, Olivia, Brooke, and Lupe, wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. You did good.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott Radio Show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Okay, so for those of you who are still watching, thank you so much for watching from, look, Hernan is on, thank you, and Malaysia, Yvonne, you got a reading not a year ago, almost today, a year ago, and it was so impactful. Liz, thank you for watching from, where did I see you? Australia. We have so many people that tuned in today because John is, and we have Megan, Ryan, thank you so much for watching. Maria, it was a full house today, a full classroom today. And Olivia really was supposed to be my co-host. And so perhaps maybe that was what we did today. And so, and Lupe, if you want to go ahead and go back to work, thank you so much.
work, Lupe.
I will. Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Have
a
a
lot,
good
Lupe. Enjoy your day. Okay, so for those of you,
one. Bye.
bye, sweetheart. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Poor Lupe. She's going to be looking at all these signs and symbols and going, gosh, I need to look around. So, okay, so with that, I talk about ground therapy. One of the reasons I'm in California, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do the classroom today, is because Clint Ober, who is the founder of Earthing Ground Therapy, you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com and click onto my Shop Now bag. You can go check out all the things that grounding does for you. And so you are very much a part of ground therapy.
Yeah.
And ground therapy has changed my life, so much so that I now have it as part of my website, so that for those of you who are feeling any inflammation, any pain, anything going on in your body, whether it's spiritual, mind, body, whatever it is, it's worth just learning a little bit more. So how did you get involved with ground therapy, Olivia?
Well, I met Clint over about 6 years ago, and I happened to be walking by him, and he was patching people up like he does. He puts patches on the bottom of your feet, and I thought, okay, I'll try this. And I sat down, he put the patches on, and literally it changed my life in that moment. And after that, at the time I owned a wellness center, and I knew that I needed to take this back and start using it in my wellness center. For myself, it has changed my life. I am healthier than I've ever been. My circulation was terrible, and I didn't even realize it. And I sleep so much better. And we do have this wonderful pillow that we call a beauty pillow. It helps you sleep, but it also helps the inflammation in your face and helps your hair. It's an amazing pillow. We'll be with Marielle Hemingway tonight, and that's actually one of her favorite products. But literally, I'm a new woman. I have more energy, and I take better care of myself, because once I started grounding, I wanted to move more. I wanted to be better and do better for myself, and my self-care began.
Yeah, absolutely. So many times we don't understand the importance of looking beyond what we see. And this is part of looking beyond what we see. I'm so grateful to Clint. As a matter of fact, I'm here in this beautiful home, sharing such a beautiful experience with Clint and Olivia, who have been so hospitable. We have several events that we're going to be going to. It's about educating. Like John said, it's about educating beyond what we see and planting seeds. And I know that I've been sleeping with the pillow, and does my hair look good? No, just kidding.
It's amazing. It's grown 3 inches.
No, it's been such an awakening to see that the earth is nature's anti-inflammatory. And who has the time to go out walking barefoot, I'm fortunate that I live a half a mile from the beach. I can walk on the beach barefoot and not worry about what am I stepping on. And so I am excited to be able to promote and be a part of this journey and mission. And so I hope that you guys go to whenyouneedafriend.com, check out the shipping or the shopping bag, and be a part of what Clint and Olivia are about. So click on the Earthing Ground Therapy, and you'll be able to start releasing any inflammation from your body. We're going to get going because I just realized that this is not plugged in, and we're going to be shut down in a little bit. So thank you, Olivia, for everything that you do.
Do we dance on the way out?
We could dance we could dance. So we'll see you. Please share, like, follow, and let's continue to grow together. We'll see you soon. Bye. Hold on. Don't go anywhere.
I'm frozen.